Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Badash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, all of Great Millstone, rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim who push this gospel in truth and in sincerity, to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Lord, will live up on your houses. This is Brother Quanah Wath, come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. But this is going to be a quick lesson, man. Ultimately want to give, a testimony, right? Proving, right, that Edom, right, the self-proclaimed so-called white man has, a perpetual hatred for you Israelites, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? As is stated, right, in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, the 5th verse, man. This is why, again, the scriptures tell you, right? It's Sirach, the 12th chapter, right? I think it's the 10th verse, right? It tells you what, right? Never trust thine enemy. Why? Because this damn devil is just that, right? One, he has a perpetual hatred, right? An everlasting hatred for you Israelites, man. And to put the cherry on top, he's the wicked, right? So he's not going to do, right? The scriptures say, if he do not good unto himself, to whom will he do good, right? And this damn devil, right, when it comes to his NWO, and really you look throughout history, right? Edom has sacrificed, countless times his own people in order to get at you Jakes, man, So that's just proof, man. But nonetheless, getting into testimony, and I really got two, right? One that happened today, right? And one that happened, last night. I was ultimately walking home, or, I had gotten home and I got out the car and I was walking, to ultimately go up to the stairs. I'm on the 3rd floor, right? I'm walking to go to the stairs. And this Edomite woman, which I've seen her there before, man, you know what I mean? I paid her no mind. I don't say nothing, She was, like, as I'm walking to the back of the car, she's kind of like walking, she's, walking behind, she's walking down the little aisle or whatever. And, I kind of turned to go the same way because that's where the stairs are at, And, as I'm walking, they have a dog. It's like a husky, looked like a puppy, maybe 5, 6 months old puppy. Really small dog, man. Maybe like 4 or 5 months old. You know what I mean? It's a young puppy. And he was skittish, and as he seen me walking and coming up, he was a skittish dog, right? So I seen that, and I was about to walk in front of their their room door, right? Their apartment door. And I heard the lady call to her son, right? Because it was her man, which he was doing something out in the, parking lot or whatever. And then as she's walking with some food, and then her son was, just playing in the rocks, right? In Arizona, you don't really have grass, you got rocks, right? So he was playing in the rocks. The dog was standing in front of, right, in the walkway in front of their door. And as I was approaching, again, the dog being skittish, the woman, basically told her son to get their dog, right? The dog's name is Bear. And, as I'm going to walk in front of the door, I see that the dog's skittish, you know what I mean? So I said, you know what, there's a pillar in front of their door, So I was like, you know what, let me go around the pillar. So I go around the pillar, and the little boy, as I come to the other side of the pillar, the little boy grabs the dog and says, no, don't follow him. He's bad. Now, mind you, these look like Edomites, right? I don't necessarily know who they are. You know what I mean? This and the third, I never talked to them like that. So I don't know if they're Edomites or not. They could be Jakes, right? So I'm sitting here, with that mindset. When I hear that, I'm like, whoa, that's some Edomite shit, man. Because you're telling me that because, that I'm automatically bad, right? They look like Edomites, I'm a Jake, I'm, what the world would call mixed, So I got melanin in my skin, man, and I heard that, and you know what I mean? I didn't engage in them, too long. I just said a couple things, but I took 2 steps back, and I said, so I'm bad. And she goes, you know what I mean? It's like, the look on her face is like she got caught, and was like, sorry, my son is learning things, right? That was a verbatim what she said. She said, my son is learning things. And he looked to be around, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, maybe even like 6 years old, right? So around the same age as my oldest daughter. And I said, as I stepped back, I looked at her and I said that. I said, so also I'm bad. And she goes, that's when she said, my son's learning things. And I was like, oh, okay, but my kids don't even do that. You know, which my girls don't. You know, my girls, my son, none of them do that. You know, and I tell them, I constantly tell them, right? If you know, sometimes some things don't need to be said, right? But Esau, Edom, you know, they don't care, man, right? And that shit is bred, right? That's not something, you know, that's not. I mean, yeah, you can learn that, but guess what? That's within Esau's DNA, you know. So a child saying it, what do you think the parents are saying behind closed doors, man? You know, that was testimony one, man. Again, another example of why we should never trust this damn devil, man. Right? And again, the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the true prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, been on the highways and byways, right? Begin with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, right? For 40 plus years, man. You know? Down to us younger brothers that, you know, been, you know, on the highways and byways, you know, just for a few years, right? But nonetheless, hey, the word's still going out, man. So for 40 plus years, this word has been going out, right? And ultimately, you know, revealing, right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, revealing who this damn devil is and how much he hates you Israelites, man. Right? Again, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners, right? Right? Which again are you Israelites that have been scattered into these other nations, right, throughout the diaspora, right? And over time began to look like the nations that they've been scattered in, right? But yet the lineage of your father are Israelites, right? If you're an Israelite, period, right, there is going to be a perpetual tension between you and Esau, Edom, man. You know, the nation of Esau, Edom. Now, again, this is not a, you know, a skin color thing, right? Again, you have Israelites that look like, you know, all nations, just as you have, you know, Edomites that look like all nations, man. You know, including looking like you Jakes, man, right? Going back to the parable of the wheat and the tares, man, right? The parable of the wheat and the tares, right? So with that understanding, like I said, when I was looking at this lady, I didn't think, oh, because she's a so-called white woman, you know what I mean, that she's an Edomite. No, I didn't, you know, I never spoke to her, right? But at that moment, when I heard what was said, you know, from her son and how she like kind of wrote it off, you know, I automatically knew, right? That's some Edomite shit, man. You know, you see a so-called black person and you automatically hating on them, right? Or even then, right, behind closed doors, you're talking shit about them, you know? That's Esau Edom, man. That's his fucking MO, man. You know, but moving on to the, you know, to the next testimony, right, which happened today, right? That happened last night, right? But today, you know, which, hey, man, you know, hey, may Yahweh Bashim Yahushua destroy all these devils, man. And that's why we throw up the curses, man. You know, Shalak, Rayam, Wa Nashim, Wa Abadim, Wa Haragim, Wa Mashapayim, all called Adawamim, right? Which Adawamim, you know, is a Hebrew for Esau Edom, man. You know, for Edom, you know, throwing up these curses, man, because these damn devils, man, you know, everything that's done here in this world is set up against the Israelites, man. You know, pursuing the Psalms, the 83rd chapter, man, right? From Esau Edom down to these other nations, but Esau Edom is the #1 culprit, man. You know, this is his society. This is his system that's set up, right? It's set up for him to prosper and for us to fall, man. You know? So you can never trust this damn devil, man. Don't matter what he fucking says to you, man. You know? And you know, again, we got this fucking so-called election, you know, coming up, right? Which I think it was Sleepy Joe who said if you don't vote for me, you're not black, or something like that, to that degree. I think it was back in 2020, you know? Which, mind you, if you go and you read in the book, Valley of the Dry Bones, right? Which is the same author of the book, you know, From Babylon to Timbuktu, right? It's the same author, right? But it's the second, it's sort of like the sequel to that book, right? It's called The Valley of Dry Bones, right? You can get it on Amazon, you know, which is where I got it. And in that book, right, it tells you, right, because again, what Sleepy Joe's a Democrat, right? It shows you and proves to you that the Democrats, and I had watched another video on it too yesterday, right, a little short on YouTube. I had watched a video saying that the Democrats are the ones that, you know, going back to the Civil War, right, the time of, you know, slavery, you know, physical slavery, right? The Democrats were the southern states, man, right? And the Republicans were the northern states, right? But everything switched, right? Esau has deceived you people to believe that the Democrats, right, are the good guys, so to speak, man, right? When they're worse than the damn Republicans, man, which are all the same, right? We understand that it's, you know, it's You know, it's two different horns, but the same lamb. You know, the same goat, so to speak, man. Right? It's all part of the same system. You know, so there really is no difference. But again, you know what I mean? If there was to be a picture painted as far as the difference between the two, right? In Esau's eyes and how he's painted it to the, you know, to the average, right? The Republicans are the bad guys and the Democrats are the good guys. When in reality, it's switched. It's the other way around, man. You know? But again, he's got, you know what I mean? Again, Esau deceiving you jakes, man. Right? He got y'all, man, to truly believe in that shit, man. And the same one that y'all, you know, quote unquote, voted for is the same one that's having all this bullshit happen today, man. You know? Which again, just to prove it, you know, just to make that point, it doesn't matter, right? Whether it's Republican or, you know, Democrat, Esau Edom's agenda, you know, is going to be pushed no matter what, right? Because he ultimately operates, you know, within both parties, you know? But again, getting to the second testimony, right? I just ultimately want to bring that out to the spirit. But getting into this A144 called Law about Shemel Shah. It's on this truck. You probably can't see it. You probably can't see it. But nonetheless, let me back that up a little bit. You know, but nonetheless, right? The second testimony is, you know, today, you know, I had got called back to a job site, which they ultimately let me go. Right? And it was over some fucking retarded ass shit by another Edomite who went and snitched, and which I didn't even really do anything wrong. You know what I mean? But they wanted to blame it. So I said, whatever. Right? I ultimately got, you know, went to a different location, you know, and was working. But the superintendent, it was the foreman that let me go. But the superintendent, which is above him, you know, ultimately, you know, called my agency, right? And said that they want me back, right? And it was by name, right? They mentioned my name. They wanted me back. You know, so I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I'm getting paid the same. You know what I mean? I'll go do it. You know what I mean? It's a little bit easier of a job site. I don't have to do as much. You know what I mean? It's not as strict. Okay, I like that. Oh, cool. You know, and it was close. So I went to that job site, man, and I've been there, you know, for, you know, about a week. You know, today was the, you know, the last, you know, obviously the last day of the that I was going to be at this particular job site, right? They have 3 different job sites that they run, same company, right? Which I would have been with the same foreman, right? The same one that ultimately fired me the first time, right? His superintendent called me back, and now I'm working with this foreman again. Well, all day today, mind you, I've been there all week, right? Every day, all week, you know, haven't missed a day. You know what I mean? I've been going hard. I you know, it's just, you know, who I am as far as that. I got high energy. I like to work. But anyways, he has us go out in the middle of the heat. Mind you, it's 110 plus in Arizona, right? And go and dig, you know, basically some piping out, you know, some PVC piping, you know, and dig a trench, you know, from A to B and run it. Well, I'm doing that. You know, at first I did, you know, I try to find that, you know, that end of that pipe, that PVC that, you know, was coming from the inside of the building outside, you know, to try to find it, whatever. And I'm doing a lot of digging, right? And I help dig the trench, this and the third, you know. And then we go to lunch after a while. You know, again, it's hot. I take my breaks. We come back and he makes this statement, you know, basically complaining about every time he says, you know, so he tells somebody to do something, you know, it doesn't get done. So I was like, wait, hold on, man. You know what I mean? And it went on from there. You know what I mean? However it went, you know what I mean? Not many words were exchanged, right? But then later on, you know, I had done something else. And it's like he was ultimately trying to find, you know, ultimately something that I did wrong to talk shit on, you know? And he found something that I was working on, but it wasn't anything that I touched. And I had a witness, you know, which was another Jake, and he ultimately was telling him, hey, you know, he didn't touch that, you know? But he insisted on saying it was me and blaming me for the problem. And I'm like, bro, like you've been looking for something. This is why I knew, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, this, you know what I mean? That hatred is being shown. You know, I told him, I was like, you it seems like you're just trying to find something, you know, to try to fire me. And he goes, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been proving all day. And I'm like, wait. So you're basically trying to, and this is what I'm saying to him, right? I said, so you're basically trying to find something, right, to fire me. You know, and he kind of smirked and laughed, and, you know, that's when I automatically knew, man, all right, cool. I'm not gonna, you know, this is a battle. This is a, you know, an uphill fight, so to speak, man, you know? Which, you know, paper trail, man, and, you know, everything, you know, ultimately worked out, called law Yabashim El Shah ultimately worked out in my favor. His hire and fire, privileges, had ultimately been revoked, because I guess he, just like, how people, like they say in the world, he's, trigger happy. That dude is fire happy. You know what I mean? He likes to fire people, man. So, hey, call law Yabashim El Shah ultimately ended up in my favor, but hey, again, that's just further proof, right? With the Esau Edom has a perpetual hatred for us, man. And it's, it's funny because 2 days ago, the same Jake that I was working with, you vouched for me today, right? That same foreman was trying to have him work all the way to the last minute, right? Within construction, it's ultimately like a known thing. The last like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, you clean up, you chill for a little bit, make sure everything's, all good, the last 10, 15 minutes. Well, he wanted him to work all the way to the end. And I looked at him, I said, bro, I said, I didn't want to speak too much, you know what I mean? I said, why are you doing that, bro? I said, it's cleanup time, man. Oh, but he wants me to get down. I said, bro, come on, man. I said, cracking jokes, Jake do me talking shit. I was like, bro, you over here acting like Samuel L. Jackson off Django, man. He snapped right into it, man, and quit working. But, you know what I mean? And we work our asses off for these damn devils, man. But as the scriptures say in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, you know what I mean? That they make no account for our labors, man. They don't give a fuck, They don't care, man. As long as you can sit there and you can die on the job. He'll replace you tomorrow, man. Quick, fast, in a hurry, man. No mural, no show of appreciation. He still don't give a fuck about us, man. And here soon, man, hey, the Lord is gonna, hey, man, he's gonna get his just desserts, man. Quick, fast, and in a mother hurry, man. Here soon, man. And here soon, we ain't even gonna have to we ain't gonna be in this position no more, man. Right? The blessings of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, beginning at the 1st verse, are gonna come upon us, man. For those who ultimately obey, right? Lord, will I be part of that number, right? The blessings are gonna be bestowed upon us, man. And those same curses, right, that have been placed upon us, right, are gonna be, done to Esau Edom, right? Pursuing Deuteronomy 30:7, man. This damn devil's got it coming, man. And guess what? He's gonna have it worse than what he does to us. So yeah, we bear through it, right? That's with knowing, right, that there's light at the end of the tunnel, man. This damn devil has no idea what's coming to his ass, man. But I just want to get out that, get that out, man, to show you, hey, there's proof, right? We have proof every single day, right, that these damn devils hate us, right? They don't care about us, right? And that these damn devils need to be removed, right, by Yahweh Shema Shai and put under our feet, man, beginning with Yahweh Shai, And they got to come in here soon, man. But that's all I really wanted to get, man. Lord wills, edifying. Lord wills, straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai B'Shem. Rachak Radash, that belongs to the other apostles of the bishop, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. Till next time, I say shalom.